Hey goalies, this is Mike Bruins, goalie specialist here at Total Goalie. Today we've got Chris Joswiak. He's the pro rep and the product manager for Brian's Custom Sports. And if you've been following Brian's at all over the last couple of years, you guys know that Brian's is probably leading the goalie industry as far as innovation goes. These guys have hit a number of products out of the park. The Sub-Zero last year was probably one of the most innovative pads we've seen in a long time. And now they've hit another home run with the Brian's G-NETik. So we invited Chris in studio. He brought us a pad, the catch glove, and the blocker. We're going to take a look at all three so you get a first look at how the pad functions, what's special about it, and why you should make it probably the next pad in your collection. So Chris, this is, you guys have taken some elements from the Sub-Zero and you've kind of, and I think I see some elements of the 0G, but it's obviously it's not either one of those pads. It's something totally different. So
exactly, yeah. I mean, our goal was to kind of look back at what pads we made in the past few years. I mean, every single year we've came out with a new pad, and then our goal was to do something that kind of brought all those lines in together, but come up with something that was completely brand new and completely innovative. So, I mean, this is the end result, and I mean, you can talk for days about this line and the features on it. It's a really exciting line for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. So obviously you've gone back to a hybrid design, and you'll actually see that this is probably one of the more flexible Brian's pads we've seen out of you guys in quite a while. So why don't you talk a little bit about the internal foams and some of the changes you've made to kind of give the pad a little more flex, and also kind of why you've gone that route.
Yep, yeah, for sure. I mean, the key thing is on all Brian's pads that they all have our proprietary engineered E-foam. So the big difference maker between the Brian's pads and everything else out there is the lightweight feel of our pads. No one can match it. We're at least a pound up to 3 pounds lighter than any other leg pad out there, and it's largely because 90% of this pad is the internals. So our E-foam gives that to us, and as you know, it aids in the balance and the breakdown issues, and it really gives you a pad that lasts a lot longer than almost anything else out there and performs just as well. So we start off with that base, and then this year, I mean, if you look at our last few pads, they've been pretty stiff in the ankle, and I know that there's, you know, for the hybrid style goalies, they like to have that more comfortable ankle and boot play to allow them to have more forgiveness in the pad and to be able to be more mobile in the crease. So, I mean, as you can see, I mean, yeah, that's definitely the softest boot flex we've had, and I mean, probably since we made stuffed pads about 8 years ago. So, what we did was we re-engineered the foam and kind of modified how we structurally did the boot, and it eventually performed that. I mean, we have the same weight as years previous, same durability, just with the softer feel right out of the box.
Yeah, you were telling me off camera, this is, even though you've kind of enhanced a lot of the materials, we'll see that in a little bit, but this is the same weight as a Sub-Zero pad.
Exactly. I mean, we can't go back in time. So, I mean, we have to stay at least at where the Sub-Zero is, or even keep going lighter, because that's what the Brian's fans are expecting. So, with this pad, straight out of the box, yeah, you're getting the equivalent weight of what the Sub-Zeros are, and with a totally different feel of the Sub-Zero.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about the foam for a second. I'm just going to put this down. But so you brought a couple of foam samples with you. And one of the more innovative pieces you guys will see is the knee. You guys have come up with a really innovative knee design. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the biggest thing is, I mean, you'll see on all leg pads that are for the hybrid style, you'll see knee rolls. But as you know, modern pads these days, these knee rolls are just fluff. They're for aesthetics, they're for looks. They don't generate any purpose to aid in the flexibility of the knee. So what we did is the inside of this, the leg gusset and inside the knee, you'll be able to feel here these ridges, these semicircle ridges, and those are cutouts compared to this is the Sub-Zero piece right there. You can see there's no flexibility in there whatsoever, whereas compared to here, when this is in this piece, it gives you that much more flex in the knee. So I mean,
let's turn that towards camera a little bit so you can see it. So if he's holding it up, I mean, obviously those semicircular pieces behind it give the whole knee a lot more flex you've ever been able to have.
Exactly, and what that's also providing you is for the hybrid goaltenders, that torsional response to give it that torque that allow the pad to kind of move around the leg and kind of wrap around the knee vertically and horizontally. So it's a much more comfortable pad in the knee and allows you to be more agile.
So those hybrid goalies who who like a pad to fit almost as an extension of their leg, they're going to really love this.
Right, exactly. I mean, and our key was, I mean, talking to a lot of elite goaltenders, a lot of pro guys that are still that hybrid style. I mean, they're looking for a pad that has those hybrid you know, little qualities, but at the same time, they're looking for a pad that still seals like a butterfly pad.
Right.
So that's why when you look at the top of this pad, it's a really unique system of how we have this whole knee set up and how we have this whole thigh set up, because it caters to the hybrid style goalie, yet you're getting that complete solid seal down on the ice where you're gonna get no gaps whatsoever, where a lot of hybrid pads, when a goalie's down, you're gonna see that gap and pucks are going right through the 5-hole.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the nice thing with this pad is you modify with what this break does, and if you take that break away, and you got a butterfly style pad that has real good knee support too. So.
Yeah, you were telling me off camera, and those of you who follow Chris on Facebook have probably seen in your set, you took out this top break.
Right. Yep.
So this is a pad that plays to all styles. You modify it to go with the solid top break. You've got a fantastic butterfly pad there too.
Exactly, and you'll see it at our pro level this year too. I mean, with the goalies that we have coming up, and the goalies already in our gear. Halak, he's in G-NETik this year, and just without this break. Then other guys that are that extreme butterfly, they still like the facets of this knee system. So what they did is they removed both breaks. So you'll see guys like Eddie Lack and Matt Climby, Ray Emery, they're in a pad that's more straight up and allows it to have that feel, but still give the knee and the softer ankle and the features on the back of the pad.
Yeah, that's great. Well, let's turn it around a little bit. Let's take a look at the leg channel here. Again, this is where you're gonna see some elements of zero G. You're gonna see sub-zero here.
Yep.
This is kind of a pad for all styles, or you can dial it in the way you want to wear it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And as you can see, I mean, dollar for dollar, it looks like a very rich pad, especially the richest that we've ever made. I mean, the luxurious materials inside, as well as, you know, the technology and innovations. I mean, you have so many options of how to wear your pads and how it'll feel that, I mean, the options are really endless. So, I mean, as you look, you have the nice SBA material, what we call the no-slip grip inside the calf here, as well as, I mean, the strapping, it can go as complex or as simple as you like. So, I mean, we have the smart strap right here, which was a huge hit on the Sub-Zero, and we want to keep going forward with the smart straps.
Yep.
And then simply, I mean, once you buckle this in, you could be done. But, I mean, as we'll show you in a few minutes here, I'll show you the other strapping option. I mean, it could really go much more in depth than just that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And the smart strap is great. I know we've probably showed it to you before in a lot of other videos, but you can customize it any way you want. You want to get it snug, you know, you pull the strap tighter on these clips here. You want to move the pad or the Velcro tab up and down, you can do that.
It's so versatile. I mean, really what it comes down to is the grade of Velcro we use and the weight of the pad, the balance of the pad, and how we design the calf wraps and everything else. So, I mean, it's not as simple as just putting, you know, a piece of nylon with Velcro on it and strapping it to your leg.
Yep.
There's a lot more thought and research and development that goes into it. And yeah, I mean, the beauty of it is once you tighten this or loosen it how you want, I mean, it really caters to the calf of your leg. Where the leather straps, they'll really bind to your leg, and it'll be a little more uncomfortable if you wear them tight.
Right.
So this gives you the ultimate in comfort, and it holds your pad really efficiently to your leg.
Right. So you've got obviously just one leather boot strap here. You've got the smart strap, an additional clip which you've changed. I know in the zero G it used to be a bigger, wider Velcro tab, but this is a much simpler system.
Yeah, real basic. And then I mean, if you have any issues, you can just pop it out, or if you don't want it at all, you can remove this completely. So it's another versatile strapping option.
Yeah,
so.
Great. And then if we go up to the knee a little bit, you've kind of widened the knee lock a little bit.
Yeah, it's more focused. I mean, you're giving a kind of a butterfly style knee to the hybrid goaltender, because I mean, down here in the knee section is important for the hybrid style, but you still want to, I mean, they're still going on the butterfly, 30 times a game. So it's key that you have the max coverage, you're standing up as much as you can when you're in your butterfly. You seal the ice well, and this is what this gives. As well as, our new thigh guard that's built connected to the pad. It gives that free-flowing contour that's unrestricted. You won't have any issues that you have with many of the pads out there.
Right. The cool thing you're telling me, too, about the strapping system, I know it's become more popular these days to take the strap and actually you can either run it across, or if you actually don't like it, you want a more open knee channel, you can run it down to the Velcro down here too, open it right up.
And the other nice thing is, depending on how snug you like it, I mean, you can definitely add inches or take away inches to create a snugger knee feel to the pad.
Right.
So.
And then here on the outside,
Yep.
You guys have enhanced this pad a little bit too. Obviously, when you're down your butterfly, your knee twist, this pops up a little bit.
Right, yep. I mean, the beauty of having no straps on here, as you can see, is you have no straps binding any of this together. So this is able to, when you go on the butterfly, your pant will kick this piece out and almost act as another blocking surface, where your blocker would be up here. So you got another blocking surface right here, and the puck could get stuck. As well as when you seal up to the post, you have no gap right up to the post. You have no straps that would usually bind and interfere with your seal to the post right there. So it gives that real solid seal right up to the post.
That's great. And obviously the thigh rise, as you guys have probably seen it already, really thin thigh rise.
Yep.
Nice and flexible here at the break.
Real square. Yep.
And really square too, so it'll seal nicely.
Yep.
And then the only thing we haven't really talked about is the boot. It's got a nice flat boot here, shallow for the most part. You guys have gone with an 80-degree toe taper on this one,
yeah.
so it's kind of the best of both worlds for those hybrid guys who need a little more cut here for movement. That's great, but 80 degrees isn't so aggressive that it takes away blocking surface.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the best of both worlds. Then real quick, we'll also bring this pad over, and this is one that's already done up. So the pull-out tabs, you just pull it out, and for those traditional style goalies or guys that are, ordering the pads over the internet, don't get to try the smart straps in person, they're able to attach straps. So you'll get a baggie of straps with your kit, and if you want, like if you don't feel comfortable with the smart straps, or you want to go back to the traditional way, this set will come in there, and then you just pull out the tabs, and you can have your traditional setup like our Pro Stock pad.
And one of the things I like about it is a lot of times you see these pockets, you'll see a T-style end to the strap, and it kind of folds in, but you guys have actually put some buttons here.
It's a bit more heavy duty, yes.
Yeah, and it adds to that rich look of the pad as well.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't spare any expense. I mean, everything to this pad is done to the nines and real high quality for sure, and Canadian made.
Yeah, and outside here on the side gusset, you'll see you guys went with Gem Pro. I think that's awesome because when you customize that, it's gonna pop so nicely, and you've changed the graphic too. We were talking about that. Kind of adds again to the rich look of the pad, but that'll just pop when it's on the ice.
Exactly. I mean, our goal was to have a full, with the utilization of having no straps like on this pad, we wanted to utilize, doing graphics on the back of the pad, do it on the side gusset, and kind of make it a complete 360 of a graphic. So that's what we went with, and it looks real good, and it's more durable. So, where the nylon will get dingy and dirty, the Gen Pro, although some people think it adds weight, with how much weight we reduced in the pad, we were able to afford to do it without making the pad heavier than the Sub-Zero. So we thinned out the outer roll, super thin knee rolls, so it gave it the weight savings we needed to be able to do, these fancy designs on the side.
Right. And, everybody knows you guys are a custom pad company. I don't know, you guys do custom graphics. We've sent all sorts of strange custom requests over to you. It's no problem.
Yep.
So can we just hit on custom a little bit because you just launched your customizer.
Exactly.
Can you go over just a couple of the color zones that are going to be on the customizer and ways you can...
Yeah, we're the kings of custom. So, no, that's the thing is we want to be able, from the stock graphic, to be able to have the customer create their own. Even down to the logos. You'll see the fancy logos, as you mentioned, the new dome style, completely tested, 100% proven. We have no issues. They won't get banged up or pop out or anything else. Those even come in a multitude of colors. So on the customizer, you'll see red, blue, silver. And then even as far as if the customer wants the old Brian style of doing the Gem Pro and the matching colors, we're able to do that as well. So even down to the logo, it's fully custom. And then going into the pad, the ways that you can split this graphic in half and have, parts colored in with the outer roll or this half, or eliminating spikes to make it more simplified. The options are really endless. You can really spend a serious amount of time on our customizer.
Yeah, it's great. I remember when the Sub-Zero came out last year, it didn't look like there was going to be too many options with the graphic, but as people play around with it, you see them like, man, that is a fantastic graphic. I think this is even a better graphic, and I can't wait to see what people come up with.
And it's been well received. The pro guys have loved it, and you'll see more than ever with our stuff is the pro guys using the stock graphics where in the past they thought our stock designs were pretty good, and then they'd be like, well, I'll still make something on my own. And this year they're like, yeah, that's perfect. Let's do it in these colors and call it a day. So, yeah, it's been well received, and you really can. I mean, the key is, goalies are individuals. So, you got to make your stuff stand out, and that's why a lot of guys wear Brian's. It's because it's a little bit different and kind of make themselves show on the ice a little bit more.
Right. Well, that's great. All right, that's the Brian's G-NETik leg pad. You can check yours out at totalgoalie.com. You can customize them right now and order them for order, I think, before December.
Oh, yeah.
Correct?
Oh, yes.
So you guys are going to crank it out. So make sure you do that. Thanks for watching, and go to totalgoalie.com to get your set today.